Hey everyone, it's Kogi from creativekogi.com, and we are now working on season 2 of Not Just Your Basic Granny Square. It's not a cowl, it's just a pattern, but it is a paid pattern. But there are a few stitches that I thought I would just explain to you because, yeah, it's just me and I want to give you as much information as I can, especially since you are paying for the pattern. I don't want you to be stuck without the details, although I do give you quite a lot in the write up as well, so you shouldn't really struggle. But just in case, there's a few stitches I want to explain. So here we go. Okay, so firstly, I have to apologize because I have done this in vertical, but I just want to show you here. What you have created is a little grid. So if you look at that little grid created by the chain one spaces, you've done that over the 3 rounds. So you've got one at the bottom. You then have 3 on the next row and 3 on the row above it. And if you look at the diagram provided in the pattern, I've labeled it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the way I've just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, to help you along, I chain 2, so that's chain 1 and chain 2. And there's a reason here is that that's going to be your guide as to how long you pull up the loop. So yarn over, insert into number 1 and pull that loop up to the length or the height of that chain 2. Now, if you hold your hook like me in a pen, I suggest holding it in a knife position so that you are now supporting those stitches like I am doing at the moment. Now yarn over and insert, so you can see that height, hey? Yarn over, insert into number 2 and pull up the loop all the way to the top. Yarn over, insert now into number 3 and pull up that loop again to the same height as the other loops. Now remember, we are going to do 2 yarn overs and pull up a loop in that number 3 space. Okay, and all the time you are supporting those loops. So yarn over into number 4, pull up that loop to the same height, yarn over into 5, and pull up the loop. Now, at this point, we would be tempted to just work that hook into the stitches, but you've got to make sure that it's the same height. If you don't, that stitch is actually going to disappear. Okay, so now yarn over and you basically wiggle that hook all the way through, right? Pulling the stitch through and then yarn over, pull the stitch through to fasten. And there you go. That's the extreme drop stitch. It will take some practice. It's not difficult to do. Just remember to make sure that all your stitches are pulled up to the height of that chain 2. And it just creates such a nice effect. Now, I did say before that I came across the stitch when I was testing for Anna Marie for the Prince Cowl. This is a version of that stitch. I loved it so much and I really wanted to introduce you to it. So yeah, this is a fairly simple one once you get the hang of it. Just make sure to keep it loose, keep pulling those loops up to the height of the chain 2. And that's it. That's all there is to it. All right then, so I wanted to show you exactly where to place your stitches on this round. Just if you get a little confused, the explanation I think is fairly clear, but it's always nice to see it, just see it being demonstrated. So you will see that I've only used 2 colors, right? So I've used the red and the gray, and it's deliberate because I want to explain where the stitches are. So standing single crochet and 2 single crochets in that chain 2 corner space, and then 1 single crochet in the first hidden stitch and 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. All right, so there we go. I just want to double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Now, if you look to the rounds below that I've worked in red, okay, your stitches on this particular round are worked into the stitches above that round of red and below the round of red. Okay, so now you're going to skip that stitch and work in the stitch directly below it. That's a front post double crochet in that stitch just above that round of red stitches. Now, if you look there, I've got 5 stitches. Okay, so in that center stitch, we have just inserted the needle. So that's the round below the red round. So it's the round below the round of single crochet is where you are now going to work your front post treble stitch. Okay, and now you skip a stitch. And now you're going to work into the same round that you worked the first one into. So that is the round just above the round of red stitches. And that's your front post double crochet. So if you look to the back, you've skipped 3 stitches. And now you're going to work 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. Okay, so let's do that. 1. Remember also just to keep it very loose. Okay, you don't want it to be all bunched up. So that's 3, 4, 5. Okay, now let's do this together. Working into the round just above the red stitches, a front post double crochet into stitch number 2, and then working below the red stitches. There's 5 stitches in that center stitch. There, it's going to be a front post treble. Okay, so it's below the red stitches, a front post treble, and now back to the round above the red stitches, and then in the stitch number 4, a front post double crochet. Okay, and so essentially then you are skipping 3 stitches behind it. Okay, so I've pulled that too tightly. Let me do that again. Front post double crochet stitch number 2 above the red stitches, front post treble in the center stitch below the red stitches, and a front post double crochet in the 4th stitch above the red stitches. Okay, if you count it, you will see the 5 stitches in between. Now skip the 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. Just keep turning over just to double check you've got it right, and 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. That's it. Just read the instructions and then you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see the spaces in between, and you'll see exactly when I say 4 and 5 and 2 what I'm talking about. If you're really confused, use a stitch marker, but it's not that bad, I promise. Okay, so the other stitch I wanted to show you is the bead stitch. Now I've done it a little bit differently because I don't like large holes created in the blanket. So I work 1 half double crochet. Okay, just like that. So I skip a stitch and work 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. Now yarn over, and you're working around that half double crochet. So yarn over, pull up a loop, and do it 3 times. Okay, there you go. So you should have 7 loops on your hook. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. Now yarn over and pull that hook all the way through 6 of the loops. Okay, so not the first loop that you originally had. And then yarn over and pull through the 2. And it creates that gorgeous little bead stitch. Okay, let's do it again. So skip a stitch and a half double crochet in the next stitch. Right. Now, like a puff stitch, yarn over around the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over around the stitch, pull up a loop, and then do it once more. Oopsie. Right. You've got 7, yarn over, pull through 6 of the loops. Okay, not that last one, so you've got 2 left. Yarn over and pull through 2. That's it. That's the bead stitch, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's lovely texture. I love it. I think it's really, really pretty. So let me do it again. Skip a stitch and a half double crochet in the next stitch, essentially working sort of a puff stitch around that half double crochet, and then pull through 6 of the loops. You're left with 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's it. That's the bead stitch. And how gorgeous is this looking so far? I am really enjoying this. Right then, that's it. I just wanted to literally show you those 3 stitches. That might seem a little bit complicated, but it's really not. I do hope the explanation was clear or the pattern was fairly detailed enough for you to do it. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And it's only a $2 pattern. It's not expensive at all. And who knows, we might have season 3 coming soon. Until then, have fun and see you soon. Bye.